After 2 long years, one of the funniest anime of all time has finally come back, and it is not at all controversial or anything in any sense. Hey there, my name is Rex Raptor, and tonight I got to see the Konosuba movie, Konosuba Legend of the Crimson. Overall, this is a pretty fun movie. I'm going to give some basic thoughts here and there, just some mini details as far as like a plot synopsis and a trailer, and then in the second half we'll go ahead and get into a little more spoiler things. First of all, did I like the movie? Yes, definitely I did. I actually really do like Konosuba. I kind of started watching it about a year ago, and earlier this year I realized that I had not finished it. That's kind of a bad habit that I tend to have with older anime, or at least anime that just isn't airing at the time. I have a trouble finishing it unless like I binge it, and Konosuba, I was able to binge it earlier this year and finish it up, and I really like it. And you know, maybe that's something else that kind of contributes to it. Konosuba is a comedy series, and that's something that's obviously very present in this movie. While this movie does have some plot going on, and obviously there is still the looming threat of the Demon King and his generals threatening the peace of the people of this land, which of course happens in this movie. For the most part, the entire series is mostly comedy. There's not like, I don't want to say that there's no real depth to it, but for the most part, it's a comedy series. So you know, you get what you sign up for basically, and you know that's not necessarily an issue, but it's something that you need to keep in mind with anime movies. It's something that I mentioned when I saw the Saga of Tanya movie earlier this year, as well as the Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai earlier this year. The movie basically just feels like 3 more episodes of the anime. And again, if you like the anime, then that's a good thing because you're basically just getting more of the anime. You're paying like, what, $12 to be able to see 3 more episodes on a nice big screen surrounded by other people who you're not going to socially interact with. But the point is, it's more of what you like. Typically, it doesn't necessarily tend to set itself above the rest of the episodes. Again, you know, feeling a little more like an arc. And that's kind of an issue with this one, if that's a problem. But at the same time, I feel like Konosuba being more of a comedy series is able to focus on that more. So it's all just a bunch more jokes. But this one does kind of focus more so on characters. As we know, basically, the meme of this movie is that it's basically the Megumine movie because she's all over the advertisements, the trailer and everything. We know that is going to be about her. And of course, especially with the title, Legend of the Crimson. Now, it's kind of in the way of how we had that arc earlier in the anime, kind of focusing more so on darkness. Now we kind of get one focusing more so on Megumine as far as like her family, where she comes from, and you know, with a threat at the end of it and everything. So that's really neat. There are a lot of good moments between Kazuma and Megumine, which are just real nice. Of course, they're really funny. But there is a little bit of heartfelt moments in that. You could see it as a negative that because of this, throughout the movie, and if you take it as a movie itself, Aqua and Darkness aren't in the movie as much. Obviously they're there and they are important, especially in the climax of the movie. They do help out because that's how Konosuba works. It's all about teamwork, and that's one reason why I love Konosuba, is that it's really stupid. And this movie's pretty stupid too, but it's a good, fun, stupid. And at the end of the day, it's all about the power of friendship, basically, through strategy. But this movie's kind of basically that. If you look at it as basically more episodes of the anime, then it's totally fine. Again, everybody is in there, or at least, you know, all the characters you know. Like I said, our 4 main heroes, Union is also there, and she has a pretty important role in the movie as well. Wiz also does show up, so that's great to see her as well. But like I said, mostly it's the Megumine movie. Megumine and Kazuma movie. Overall, it's a fun watch. A lot of the jokes are pretty funny. If you happen to know some situations going on with certain jokes, certain things said, then you'll know there's a little bit of controversy over it. I'm not necessarily going to discuss it too much, but I will say specifically, I don't necessarily have an issue or an opinion. I'm not super educated on certain topics, so maybe I shouldn't publicly say an opinion much. But I will say the joke with the orcs, and if you've seen it, you know, I was a little not comfortable with it. It felt weird, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's all jokes, it's all comedy, especially since there are some better jokes. And like I said, the good jokes are with Kazuma and Megumine, and through the rest of the cast, just seeing them all interact with each other and be funny. Visuals look pretty nice. Again, they're basically the same as the anime, maybe just a little better. There's some great movement, and again, that's one reason I really like Konosuba. There's some great funny movement. Most of the comedy really does come from the voice acting, which again, the voice acting is still consistently top notch. Especially Kazuma. Kazuma, I think, is one of the great voices in anime, just because his range is just he's got a good range, and it's all really funny. For the most part, that's kind of all I suppose I could say. So, aside from that, I enjoyed it. Let's get into a little bit of some spoiler discussion, this and that. The basic plot, of course, does see Megumin returning back to her village. It's really funny, though, because basically everybody in Megumin and Union's village is just more Megumin, basically. They're all delusional, all posing and saying their names and their skills and this and that. They're all better mages than Megumin is. Of course, Megumin's specialty is explosions, and everybody else here has got some different stuff. They do later explain a little bit of the lore of the Crimson Demons, which is pretty funny. It turns out to be the scientist guy who we've seen in previous episodes, just basically creating this world around him just by existing and just making random things. It's funny. The issue, in a sense, like I suppose you could say one issue is because it is basically just more of the TV show. So like seeing it as a movie, and unfortunately, like I said, that's one of the things you kind of have to do. You have to view this as just more episodes of the anime. But when you pay money, walk into a theater, sit down, and you're surrounded by other people, you're seeing it on a big screen, and especially if you saved up your AMC points and got some chicken tendies like your boy here, then it feels like a movie rather than the episodes. And the plot doesn't feel like that of a movie. So there's a little bit of a disconnect there. And I'd say that's one thing that kind of, not necessarily that it holds the movie back, but it's television writing on a big screen. Like I said, if you love that television writing, which I definitely do, that's great. But in a theater, it feels a little odd. And especially because, in typical Konosuba fashion, it introduces something that seems like it's going to start off into an adventure, and then it just kind of continuously cuts it down in funny ways, of course, for the purpose of being funny, being jokes, and just kind of pointing out like, hey, look at these characters, they're being really dumb, but in a really funny way. And I feel like I've said funny way too many times in this review, but overall it's really great. They do face a villain which, for the most part, is a pretty substantial threat. The villain specifically is a chimera who's able to absorb basically anything into her body. And so in a way it does feel a little more substantial, because then we get to see some of the previous villains coming back, specifically the Dullahan, because at one point they all kind of mold together with that, and that's neat. And like I said, having Wiz come back and fighting alongside them, that's also, it feels more like, and having Union there as well, because I don't think, Union has definitely helped them a lot, but having Union there as well, and especially because she's very important to the village of the Crimson Demons, having her being one of the ones to help basically deal the final blow alongside Megumin is just really nice. Again, what I like about Konosuba is they're all idiots, they're all really dumb, and like the four main heroes, they kind of wouldn't really work on their own, but together they can get things done. They're actually competent, with Kazuma being able to plan things, and especially with Aqua supporting, and Darkness basically defending, and then Megumin being able to deal big hits. I really do like that aspect of it. And getting to see a bunch of big, nice explosions on the big screen is just really nice to see. And yeah, for the most part, I suppose that's all. There's really not much more that I can think I can say. Overall, that's basically it, and I feel a little bad having repeated it so many times. It's just more of Konosuba. Listen, I'm gonna stop you right there. You forgot to give this a number rating, and if he were to give it a number rating, he would give it a 7.5 out of 10 because of the movie. Konosuba is definitely a 9 out of 10 anime for him, but as a movie, this is a 7.5 out of 10 movie, but take that what you will from it. I gotta go. If you happen to have seen the movie, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I just want to thank you guys so much for continuing to watch my anime videos, anime movie reviews. I think for the most part, this is kind of one of the last big anime movies for the year. So I'm probably going to be moving on to maybe discussing some individual anime. I'll go back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime if I can, or if I can think I can. I'd like to see GX. But this was a really fun movie. What can I say? I also went with my friends to see it. We color coordinated. We well, there were 5 of us, so we wore one person wore blue, one person wore red, green, yellow, and then pink for Union. So that's really neat. It was so stupid. I don't know why I mentioned that, but anyway, if you enjoyed the content, remember to leave a like, subscribe, all of that cool stuff. You can enable notifications by clicking the bell icon next to the subscribe button. This will make sure you see each new video as it comes out, and it will also make you a member of the Chingling Squad. Anyway, this has been Rex Raptor. Still getting used to that name. Have a nice day.